Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of
I'll make that motion.
I'll
May
second it.
2nd? Okay, Jamie. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. April 25th.
I have a minor comment.
Okay.
Page 1, item 4, where it says that Roy second, it should be seconded for item 4.
Okay.
That's it.
Any other corrections? I have a motion to accept the minutes as corrected.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify
Aye.
by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Minutes are approved for April 25th, April 5th.
I have a few comments on that.
Okay.
Page 1, item 2, that's where they have the amount for the Triton. It was 9 million something. The second, what should be the second
It should be
comma is a
comma,
period,
yeah.
so it looks like 9,000. It's like there's a decimal point there instead of the second comma.
Okay.
Yep.
And then item 6, it had, the period there, or the decimal should be changed to a comma for the 54,400 amount. On
Okay.
item 6.
Any other corrections, comments?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. I have a motion, have a second.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, April 5th, minutes are approved. March 29th.
I had an item on the March 29th under item 9. It states that I made the nomination and seconded
You
that.
did both, huh?
I was busy.
Right.
So that was the only thing that I found on March 29th.
So we don't know who the other person
I
is.
don't know who the other person was.
Okay.
We could just review the tape probably, and
I'll
correct, make the
review that.
corrections.
And it was item 9.
Yeah, on page 2.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes
I'll make a
as
motion.
amended? Okay,
I'll second it.
any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's see, was that the March 29th?
29th, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Now we're in the
March
20th.
22nd.
It was John, the only thing I saw was at the top of the sheet where it says, the date.
Right.
It said, meeting minutes, 22nd. It should have said March instead of meeting. So just
Right.
identify the date. I mean the month, rather.
Okay, any other corrections? I have a motion to accept the March 22nd minutes as amended.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's 7:30. Have an appointment with Libby.
And here I am.
And here you are, and the floor is yours.
Well, as you may know, I'm Libby Pebble from the Agricultural Commission. We are in charge of the community garden and the farmers market and people's right to farm in the community. We have been working on a project to get a permanent connection for the water line to the community garden for some time now. It's quite a long history, but as of the last couple of weeks and months, we have had a process in place to get this project done. And we came up with a plan with the water department to actually install this line. And I will get into far more detail in the next part of the agenda, but this part just deals with funding and a spending cap that we had on a revolving account, which I only thought pertained, in my mind, only pertained to the line item, town line item account. So we put in a request to discuss with the selectmen 2 weeks ago, and start the process of increasing our spending cap. We do have the funds to pay for what we knew at the time was the funds that we needed. We had the is roughly $2,000. We had the funds because of Girl Scout Gold Project. Several years ago, Bella Lisinski donated $2,000 to the Agricultural Commission for the community garden. So the funding we needed for this project was in place. My mistake in not understanding that I needed to get permission to spend that extra money over and above the $1,000 we have already spent for the fiscal year. So we are here as the second part of a two-part process to request that increase in spending cap, and the selectmen had approved us several weeks ago for the $4,000 limit, which we're grateful for. So here I am at your beck and call to say, can we have that other half of the permission to spend the $2,000 donation money from Bella Lisinski to foot the bill for the parts necessary to complete the water line connection project permanently.
Yep.
And you think that money would be sufficient? That will cover
Well,
what you
we
need?
need to go to phase 2, which is the next
Okay.
line item
Okay.
in your
Alrighty.
agenda for
Okay.
tonight that got emergently put on this
Right.
morning.
The only question I had is, does that need town meeting approval to up the cap?
No, the selectmen have already done it.
No.
No, I know, but I mean, to reserve, you were talking about a reserve fund?
That's the
No,
next,
no,
that's the
it's
next
the resolving.
line item.
Oh,
The
okay, okay.
revolving fund is what
Okay.
she's talking about right now.
Yeah, but the revolving fund, don't you need town meeting approval to, because town meeting approved all the amounts.
No, but this is something that you can do with the Board of Selectmen, and they have already approved
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I'm just,
They approved the,
Yeah.
at the town
Yeah,
meeting, if
yeah.
I can, they approved the revolving fund setup for each of the areas.
with an amount of
With-
money, right?
Right.
And we're raising the limit.
Okay, that doesn't need to go back to town meeting?
No.
I just,
Please.
my question, yeah.
No.
Okay,
For, my understanding is that a permanent change needs to go to town meeting.
Mhm.
Right, but this is just
We
an
will be probably
emergency.
revisiting this in, September or October.
Right.
But for right now, for fiscal 15, am I correct on that?
16.
16.
Which ends in
16.
July, we
Right.
needed to get it approved right now, to spend this $2,000.
Right.
Which is,
So was 2,000, you're raising it another 2,000 to 4,000?
No, it was 1,000.
Was
Oh, it's
it
just 1,000?
Right.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
so my understanding is that the Agricultural Commission can spend the $2,000 donation money for the parts needed. There's actually a check cut and ready to go that's in the safe.
Right.
A reimbursement check for me too, which I've been waiting 2 weeks for, but we're fine with that. So good, thank you
Yep.
very much. It's been a 5-year process.
Yeah.
I-
I'll be here the next day.
I'm waiting to go by and not see the hose.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It was supposed to happen at 8 this morning.
Yeah,
It did not happen.
yeah, it's still there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I live on Warehouse Lane, so I go
Oh,
by
okay.
there back and forth a couple times a
So they
day.
plan on putting a separate, like, irrigation for all those
Well,
little,
Up at the
Lots.
Brad Street Farm,
Yeah.
there is a whole water system in place.
Mhm.
There's probably a spigot per 2 or 3 gardens. That's all in place. Initially, when the Brad Street Farm was set up, we connected to the house, when the town still owned the house.
Mhm.
The house was sold. Mr. Sabatini was gracious enough to allow us to continue using the well over there while he renovated. Then we came to the water department had promised us a permanent water connection. We did a temporary or a seasonal line from the street all the way up to the community garden. And the water department actually donated the pipe. We did the work, rented the equipment, did all the work. It got connected to the water, to the hydrant. They said they would be back in 2 weeks to connect it to the water main. And then the water department fell apart and people all left. and it's been ever thus, and what are we gonna do to get it off Mr. Thurston's lawn and have a permanent water source for the community garden or not, depending on other people's,
And this is a seasonal
it's a seasonal line.
line,
Right.
so it would be closed down in the winter.
Yes, we've closed it down every year.
Yeah.
Even when it was attached to the well over at the house, we closed it down, blew out the lines, you know, and had secured it for the winter. And same with the last 2 seasons, you know, we've blown out the lines and secured it for the season. So that's kind of a bit of the history of where we've been with this water line thing, 5 years running. Am I ready to start on the next?
Yes, go right
Okay,
ahead.
I have several pieces of things, and I'm sorry it's a little long, but it's kind of a complicated story of what happened this morning. And I'm gonna give each one of you a copy of everything I have in my hot little hands. These are minutes from our meeting on April 14th.
Thank you.
This is money. Money. This is. I'm gonna have to apologize. A, still in barn clothes. B. Not this since 7 this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joke. It's kind of a whale of a tale.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
Don't I get one?
oh, I'm sorry. Of course you do, Mr. Chairman. Of course you do.
I mean, my wife ignores me all the time.
I'm so sorry. I'm just going, passing out papers. You have to realize I was up at 4 doing my own paid work, and I'm going to start barn work at 6:30. Okay, I do apologize that this is a little long, but in order to get you to where we're at, I have to just, you can follow me along, and I'll try to be a little shorter than 3 pages, 2.5 if this is. On April 7th, it was roughly, I have no documentation of the exact day, but it was roughly that week that I met with Superintendent Mary Beth Weiser, along with Pete Lomas, who's an AgCom member, as well as the community garden manager. Mary Beth Weiser informed us that the water line to the community garden would be permanently connected. And our understanding of the project was that the water department would dig the road. The Agricultural Commission would fund the necessary parts to do the project that we can now pay for, thanks to you. The AgCom would find a contractor to quote-unquote tap the main, and that quote-unquote is you're gonna see that until the end. Because that is the AgCom's understanding of tap the main. The Agricultural Commission would schedule to meet with the Water Board to ask for a waiver of the $4,000 application fee, which is their normal process for any new water service, even though we had to set up and a meter, but that's their way. In the Agricultural Commission meeting minutes, which I have a copy of, clearly our understanding of what tap the main meant was some form of pipe connection. That becomes important later in my tale. Jesse Warren of TW Warren Excavation was contacted on April 15th by me to get a quote for quote-unquote tap the main. In our conversation, Jesse asked if the water department was digging the road, to which I replied yes, as was my understanding. Jesse Warren was willing to donate his time to quote-unquote tap the main and provide the Ag Commission with the needed copper piping. He suggested I get the other parts he would need from State Supply in Ipswich, and that they would know the exact parts he needed. State Supply was called and the parts were ordered. That bill is paid in full, $230 some odd dollars. We had that in our line budget still. The AgCom met with the Water Board on Tuesday, April 15th. The board kindly waived the application fee. We informed the board that Jesse Warren was willing to donate his service to quote-unquote tap the main. Also that the parts had been ordered and that we had the necessary funds to pay the parts from the other supply house. The water department was purchasing supplies as well. The Agricultural Commission still understood that the water department would be digging the road. Water board meetings state, tap the main. And I heard that from Mary Beth this morning. She read me the water board meeting minutes, and all I heard was tap the main, tap the main, tap the main from the commissioners. Libby Tucker asked Water Superintendent Mary Beth Weiser for an additional meeting to discuss more details on April 28th at 8 a.m. And I do have that on my calendar, so I had that exactly. I met with Mary Beth Weiser. My understanding from that meeting continued to be that the water department was digging the road and that Jesse Warren was quote-unquote tapping the main. Mid-May 2016, I received a call that the water department was not going to be able to do a permanent connection until June. In the meantime, the water line would be installed onto the fire hydrant as it had been for the previous 2 years. The line was connected. Also, the Agricultural Commission purchased vacuum breakers and installed them as requested by the water board and water superintendent. Sometime later, I was called by the water department and informed that the permanent connection was scheduled for June 14th, 2016, and that I would be contacted about a time. I contacted Jesse Warren the same day and let him know the date. On May 12th, 2016, actually was it 13th? Pardon me, I think I have that date wrong, yesterday morning. I called the water department and left a message that I wanted to know what time on Tuesday they would be starting the project. I received a reply phone call from the water department employee at 6:26 a.m. on Tuesday, June 14th, to let me know that the work would begin at 8 a.m. And I was told that Jesse Warren was aware and that I could bring the parts the AgCom had purchased to the site at 239 Main Street. On June 14th, 2016, at 7:03 a.m., I received a call from Water Superintendent Mary Beth Weiser informing me that the water department would not and could not dig the road. I learned that the professional's definition of tap the main, quote unquote, is that the road would be dug and repaired by a contractor hired to do the work, and that the water department's role was strictly overseeing but not actually digging and doing road repair. Also, I was informed that the Agricultural Commission would need to pay for the police detail that was already on notice and en route to the site. In addition, the Agricultural Commission would be required to pay for all parts above and beyond what was already agreed upon and purchased, and any other associated costs estimated to be $2,400. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. I told Water Superintendent Weiser that the Ag Commission obviously did not have an understanding of quote-unquote tap the main as the professionals do. Also that the AgCom did not have that kind of funding. I also explained that in accordance with open meeting laws, I would need at least a 48-hour time to call a special meeting to inform the members of the AgCom. The AgCom board would need to come up with a plan to secure funds and vote to spend those funds. It was left that once I had a moment to think and contact Deb Egan, town administrator, to get that advice, I would get back to her at ASAP. I was unsure if the project could be aborted and whether I had the authority to actually stop the project, given that the water department employees are not under the jurisdiction of or responsive to the Agricultural Commission. At 8 a.m., I met with Deb Egan, and immediately a call was placed to Superintendent Weiser. The project was stopped. Meanwhile, a police officer had arrived, and the water department employees had started to set up. Deb Egan canceled the police detail. In the course of our meeting, it was determined that someone at the water department had called in the police detail request. Also, unbeknownst to the Agricultural Commission, a quote-unquote road opening permit would have needed to be granted by the Board of Selectmen, which was not done. I learned that the professional's definition / understanding of quote-unquote tap the main would include a contractor securing both the road opening permit and the police detail, neither of which the AgCom had any knowledge of, or should I say be expected to know. At 11 a.m., Libby Tucker posted a special meeting of the AgCom for Thursday, June 16th at 7 p.m. to inform the rest of the AgCom and to discuss how we would move forward with this project. Also, Libby Tucker requested a revision of the Finance Committee meeting agenda to include potentially transferring funds from the emergency fund to our fiscal 2015 budget line in order to pay the water department to secure the permit, secure police detail, order parts, dig and repair the road. The AgCom was already scheduled to meet with the Finance Committee after the selectmen had approved our spending cap increase in order to pay a supplier for parts agreed upon and that the commission had funds for. The water department has given me a quote for the expenses. The Agricultural Commission respectfully requests that monies be transferred from an emergency fund to our line account in order to finish the project, now well underway and aborted this morning. Respectfully submitted. And you have figures there. You also have, there's a 3-page thing that the water department sent me this afternoon.
So what is,
This is my tale.
what is going on here? I mean, does the water department know that the water line had to go up the street? I mean, I don't understand why it waits till the last minute to
At
have,
7 a.m. this morning.
to have this
1
happen.
hour before.
And I mean, does it end here, or is there other things that are gonna crop up during this whole process?
I have no idea.
I'm not
According
happy.
to what I understand from Mary Beth, there's 3 pages attached together of the, and the first being what the water department needs.
Well, it looks like some of the water department employees were showing up for the job, and the police and everything else. I mean, what?
Well,
I mean-
my understanding is that, I talked with, a fellow named John.
John, who's the water distribution foreman.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said to me at 6 this morning, we're ready to go. I said, great, I'll be over there with my parts box. And at 7, when Mary Beth called me, I guess a few minutes before, he was loading up equipment, and Mary Beth said, what are you doing? He says, I'm going to dig the road. And she didn't know that he was digging the road.
Okay.
He knew he thought he was digging the road.
But somebody
I
had-
thought he was digging the road.
Did somebody put a dig safe? I mean, you have to dig safe to the site, so there's there
That
should be
was
white
another
line
piece- that's another
somewhere
piece
that
that
shows where the digging is gonna be, so.
Right, that's another piece that's not in,
Okay.
in the part of the whole procedure that was missed, along with the agricultural commissions and my understanding of what tap the main actually means. Which tap the main to them and a water professional excavator person means digging the road, well, getting the permit to dig the road, ordering a police detail. Obviously now, we also know, because you just said it, that DigSafe would have to be called.
Right.
And, actually doing the digging and repair. That the water department basically stands over the hole and goes, okay, that's good. All
Right.
the parts we had secured, already, and that was the funding we,
Also, is this water line crossing the road?
no.
It's not. It's
No.
parallel with the road.
As far as I understand, it comes, the driveway up to the Brad Street Farm.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, there's the pillars, and then the water line comes straight down. I don't know where it has to connect into the road, where the main is in the road.
Okay.
Right there, it would connect right at that corner. The Thurston's house is here, and the driveway is here. Somewhere at that corner is where it would connect. Right now, it goes across.
Okay, so no road would have to be, part of the road would have to be patched or repaved?
Well, I don't know how far out they have to go to
Okay.
actually get to the water main.
Because that might potentially be an additional expense.
Well, that's
To
what the
patch.
water board put
Yeah.
on this, and then you have that cost sheet. Some sort of parts,
Yeah.
things, a detail
Okay,
officer,
paving, yeah.
paving, gravel, loam and seed.
It looks like it's on that side of the road, but.
It is on,
Yeah, it is
we
on
know
that
it's on that
side.
side of the road, we don't know how far out
Right.
it is. I don't, and
Right.
certainly, I don't know if they do a pre-investigation, how they know beforehand. I mean, you're not gonna put a shovel in the ground until you know kinda where you're going, right? That would be a dig safe marking.
Sure.
Does the water department have a work order, in place? If one of their employees is going out to do a job and the superintendent doesn't know that, did they
Yeah,
have a
they
work
should
order?
from Pennachuck have a work order.
Right.
Yeah, I just confused why
Right.
the employees are ready to do the work, and was there a work order missed? Obviously, there was no dig safe, there was a lot of things missing there, so I don't know where it slipped, but,
I think there's a bunch of them. I think there's a bunch of pieces, including my understanding of what tap the main and the agricultural commission's understanding of what tap the
well,
main.
have you sat down with the water department to find out exactly all these pieces that now you've laid out in writing here? I mean, was that done prior to, or back in April, or whenever you met with them first?
No, and the top of the page there, the 4 steps that we took after the first meeting with Superintendent Weiser was what we understood. That was our understanding of the project.
Mm.
And we met with the water board who.
Right, you would figure that tapping the main would be,
Was putting the
Just
pipes
attaching.
together.
That's how I
Correct.
And that's what
Right.
Jesse Warren is licensed to do, as long as I had the parts for him to do it, which I
Right.
did in the box.
Right.
He could do that piece, and he was willing to come by and do that part, and as a donation to the agricultural commission. And when we talked, he said, is the water department digging the road? And I said, yeah, that's what we talked about the other morning. That's my understanding of it.
So they weren't gonna dig the road at all?
Well, they said, not, just to come to find out at 7 a.m. this morning, no, Mary
Then
Beth.
why would they order a police officer if they're not doing the digging?
Well, that's
Right.
the other,
You know, that's the other
that's
thing
the
too.
other
I mean,
thing.
if they were doing the work, they
For
would
lack
order.
of communication.
I don't know who,
Yeah.
I don't know who ordered the police detail. I have no idea.
I mean, if they were digging,
The
they would order the
agricultural-
police
agricultural-
officer.
Of
If
course.
Jesse
Right.
was doing
Of
it,
course.
Jesse would order the police detail. So it just sounds like a bunch of
Yes.
issues here that needs, I don't know how to
But
respond to that, so.
I'm confused because when you look at this April one, it says that the water department will dig the road.
That's
So
the
who-
agricultural commission's
you-
meeting minutes.
Oh, okay, so
It-
where'd they get that
their-
information from?
Their impression of.
That's the agricultural commission's impression of what the project is. That's in our meeting minutes and documented in our minutes.
How much,
Clearly what their understanding was of the project and what the water department,
There's a-
there was a lack of
Something or other in that.
okay,
communication.
what are you actually asking for?
Well, I guess we're actually, what did I put at the end of this little thing? And I put this together very quickly this afternoon. The water department has given us this top sheet, which totals $608.
Yeah, but you
They
had,
gave us a bill for parts that they need, at $233.37. And there's this other team, EGP, I don't know who that is and what these parts all are.
EJP, that's another supply company.
All right, it's $50.02, which in my math came up to $891.39.
okay, but none of this is paying for a police
No, the whole,
No.
that includes the the front page. Look,
the
look at
police
the
officer,
detail.
but it doesn't include digging the holes.
Digging the road.
Well, this is what the water board gave me this morning, or this afternoon. My understanding is I guess they're taking on the cost of the labor. This is the price, the additional cost to dig the road, that the water department is going to do,
So they are now going to dig the road?
if we can find the $891. Yes, which we have no budget.
What parts have you bought so far?
What,
What parts have you bought so far? Because, I mean, it looks like you're not duplicating, I mean, you haven't bought parts that they're
these
gonna
are
buy.
additional.
In addition to what they know
What
the
we
parts that
already
you have?
paid for,
They know the parts that you have?
yes.
Okay, so these are in addition to those
Yes,
parts, not
yes.
a duplication of those parts?
Correct, there was, what I brought into them that the AgCom actually did the purchasing of was a saddle and a something joint, something.
Yeah, yeah.
Pipe and a saddle.
Maybe a suggestion, I would get that in writing about that they're gonna do the digging, because there were other things that were apparent that weren't done. So maybe that's a misunderstanding too, about the digging, they're gonna do the digging.
They say they're doing the digging.
Do you have
Why would-
a
why would they do
date?
the
On
digging
here
now?
from, why?
Why would they do the digging now if they weren't gonna do it today?
What's that?
Why are they doing the digging
Right.
now? If they weren't gonna do it,
Today?
Yeah,
they weren't gonna do it today, but now they're gonna do it for.
Well, today they
Yeah.
couldn't do it because of no permitting and
There's no road opening permit.
there's no road permit, and now we realize that they probably should have.
but they don't
gotten-
have a road opening permit, right?
Right,
They have to
Selectmen will,
apply for it,
selectmen
Right.
will meet Monday, right?
right.
and can they can get it on the agenda
Right.
until Thursday.
Are there additional fees assessed with road opening permit? No, there is not,
I
okay.
don't believe so.
Because I know DigSafe, there's no fee
No.
for
Now, you said
that.
there were some parts that were bought and paid for, right?
Yes.
What, where, is that reflected in
That's what I
here?
asked.
No,
these
not
are
this.
above,
No,
these are
this is
above
over and
beyond
above.
what's
So
already
these,
taken care
the
of.
233, et cetera, are additional?
Correct.
Okay, so you're, that's, none of that is being re-added in
No,
this
No.
amount?
no,
Okay.
and I looked at the name of all these parts, which had no meaning to me, and,
Okay.
but they were not repeated. and I
Did you show them to the water department?
Okay.
Did they agree that those parts are needed?
They gave her the
They
list.
just sent me these,
Okay.
these quotes or these, yeah, quotes. They just came in.
I'm confused, but
Exactly. This
Okay.
quick valve joint, threaded bushings and I don't know what all.
so it's the
Do we have
bottom
the,
line.
do we have the transfer form?
With a big ticket
I
item,
have
if
a
we were
transfer
digging,
form.
if they charge you
I
for
didn't
that,
know the cost.
that'd be
what it
another
would-
$600 or $700.
Will that come out of this fiscal year?
Yeah, this our
Mhm.
reserve fund, which is
Okay,
fine.
so we have money in.
We have the
yeah.
money.
If they
Yeah.
charge you
No
for the
problem.
digging, they're gonna charge you for,
I
you know,
just don't
double
want
what
you
you
to
had
Yeah.
there
I
probably.
just wanna make sure it's.
As far as I know, that's the
That's it.
cost. That's all I can go by is what I've been informed about.
Yeah.
So what you're essentially looking for now is an approval of this $891.
$891.31.
Correct, and it
Is
has to
that-
go
You
from,
probably did
what,
that.
the emergency
And-
process to our line item?
And that, it's your understanding now, includes the digging.
Should be in
um,
writing though.
Could be.
Right,
What
they-
was it?
Good point.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Should be in writing because then it's, you know, like they said.
So she put a total on there?
because if we
No,
approve
she
this, and then you come to find out that there's gonna be a digging charge, then you're gonna have to come back.
Good point.
So it's
We have
better
till
to be
July
sure.
15th, but do they have, they don't have a date set to do this, right?
No, my understanding is that she needs to get it done pre-July 1.
Yes, she does.
She does, right.
Yeah, so, okay. What I was saying is we can make transfers after July 1st up until the 15th, so if something should happen that this isn't the right figure, you could come back
Yeah,
again.
just to add to it, so just
Yeah.
give her enough money to
Just get what she
what we
needs
know
here.
right now, and then,
Right.
What the facts are
Yeah.
As we see them right here.
tonight.
Now, knowing that we can do another transfer when we meet on the, I believe it's the 14th of July, if that should happen to be needed.
Right, so you want the 891.39.
39.
According, and just double check my math from the 3 pages I gave you, the water department is the top line that they needed. The second line is one vendor, and
so
the
what
second page
is
is
it,
one
what
vendor.
is,
and
it
the
would be
second page is
608, right?
608,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure my
two
figures-
thirty-three, 37,
5002.
'cause I'm a little-
And it adds
what,
up.
5002?
and 5002.
891.39.
Comes 891.39,
Okay.
if those are just the figures that we need.
And in the meantime, too, you should probably get in writing from Mary Beth that they are gonna in fact do
This
the
is the scope of
digging.
the project.
Otherwise, you just, like you said, this won't be enough if you have to pay for the,
You wanna get that.
yeah, get it in writing, then you should be all set.
I mean, because this does not include, from what I see, the hot top or the materials you may need to fix the road.
Bill, what does it say?
Because
Well,
if
it's
you're
got,
digging
It
it's
does
got
say-
gravel
Paving
pack,
and
It does say
gravel
that.
paving,
Right.
Paving, $35 per square
so they
yard.
don't think.
That's what
it's
I
not
had
gonna be
asked,
that
and
big a
she
hole.
does show
Right.
it.
They're just not charging you for the labor for doing
Okay.
it, that's all.
And my understanding from Mary Beth is that they were gonna
Do that.
Do that,
do
patch it.
do all this, these parts.
Mhm.
Yes.
I wanna
Yes.
be a detail officer. You only have to work 4 hours and you get $400.
Yeah,
Now,
but they get-
where's-
They get contracted for 4 hours if they do 1 hour or 4
I know,
hours.
Right.
I know,
but they get
I know.
paid.
Is the $608, did you say that's covered?
No.
You have the funding for the
No,
600?
No,
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 not, not
not-
the.
Oh, never mind, I'm sorry, I just saw it, never mind.
Yeah.
We're fine. I misunderstood.
But these numbers came from the water department, right?
Those
It's not
were-
on their letterhead, so you must have typed this, right?
Nope,
Oh,
that's
they-
how they sent it to me.
They should have put it in water department stationery, so you could see that it was
Yeah,
something
official.
from them, you know,
Yeah.
not, I don't know what,
Right.
if these numbers are correct or not. Okay, I understand. So, all right, so I'll make a motion that we approve the 891
I'll second.
39 for the start anyway, and
Yeah, okay.
see where it goes after that.
Any other discussion?
No?
All
There
those,
will be the police detail that was called this morning, and Devigan,
Not to pay him.
thinks that the water department needs to pay that. They were the ones that called them. I'm getting word that the bill is gonna come to the agricultural commission, but.
No, I think it should go to the water department. I mean, yeah, they were,
And I think,
You
I think
didn't
between the
call.
selectmen, Debbie and you need to decide where that bill goes. And personally, I don't think we should incur that cost.
No, you didn't call.
We didn't call them. We had no idea you needed to call them,
Right.
basically.
Okay.
okay, all those in favor for transferring 891.39 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Need everybody's approval.
You're all set. Good luck.
okay. Hopefully it gets in before you have to shut the water off.
Well, it's been 5 years, why should we not extend it even 5 more years?
Just as an aside, the water ban for agricultural purposes, does that apply, the 9 to 5?
Do you know, I am not clear, and somebody else, Sue Bailey from the county asked me that, and I said, you know, I need to go and put that on the agenda of the water board and ask them.
Because I don't think it
Probably,
applies.
I bet you it does. I mean, there's no discrimination against the water ban, I think.
DEP mandate.
Yeah, I think it's DEP.
Yeah, I think it's state.
Yeah, that's a DEP mandate.
Yeah, I do think it's state that goes beyond our,
I would,
and something to look into is even in terms of what the state says.
Right.
Is agriculture, you know, allowed to
Right.
water?
Right.
I don't water my pastures, which I would like to do, but if I can get up early enough or do it late enough, I don't like to do it late, but if I up, which I'm usually up, it's just a matter of, do I wanna go out there and put those sprinklers on at 5:30 in the morning? So even I don't do my own, but I know the community garden folks usually are either there pretty early or pretty late, so. There are
Right.
people, I'm sure, that go up midday, and, I mean, they're told of the ban, and as I said, I can clarify that, you know, I'll do a little digging and put it on the agenda at the water board and go to the water board and see what they say.
Okay,
But that's a good question.
all right.
Well, I thank you
Anything
ever
else?
so much. I
Good
really-
luck.
Thank you.
It's been, do I have to do anything with that form, or is that yours, and
No, I think that's ours, and we'll take it from here.
you're wonderful. Thank you ever so much. And it's
Okay.
And I didn't come down in my jammies.
But you can go get
Thank
them
you
on
very
now.
much.
I did,
Okay.
I put a sweatshirt on and a pair of jeans, and I ran down. Anyway, thank you, thank
Hey,
you.
good night.
Okay,
Thanks.
good night.
Okay, we'll
Yep.
see you. All right, moving on, we have transfers from various organizations. Let's take it right from the top. Assistant Town Accountant's wages, $6,316.68 for office supplies and continuing education. Been signed by the selectmen.
I'll make a motion that we do the transfer.
Okay, let's see. I have a second.
I'll second that.
I have a question.
Sure.
That's being transferred from what to what?
It says 800, you said 6,000 or something?
6,000, right?
Yeah,
Right.
It's
How much is
before
it?
transfer. It says
From what
transfer
account?
amount.
Oh,
$800.
$800, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going from one,
Right,
Yeah,
Account
I was just wondering
inheriting.
what
The-
account it was going from to,
from the town accountant's wages
Oh,
to
okay. because I didn't have a copy of that. So the money that we're asking,
It's
the,
800.
is $800.
$800?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Not the 6,000.
Yeah, it's 6,000, I was wondering.
Yeah.
That's not kinda,
Sorry, I'm in vacation mode here. Any other discussion?
did we
No.
get
All
a
those
second?
yeah,
Hmm?
yeah.
Oh, we got a second,
Paul,
okay.
Jamie.
Right.
Jamie said, okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
14. June. everybody's signature.
Did you cover all the transfers?
One at a time.
One.
Okay. Next one is library expenses, transferring $1,300 from library expenses to library wages. This is partly due to staff substitutions and coverage for paid leave time, and partly due to having expanded hours to 44 hours open per week 2 years ago. Library expenses line can afford this transfer due to an exceptionally mild winter and low heating costs, and relatively few building and repair issues.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Let me. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So it doesn't say bode well for 2017, but they're saying they had exceptionally low, so when 2017 comes along, boom.
No,
It's
it's just
gonna
saying
spike
that,
way up,
that
right?
they didn't use
I
all
know.
the shoveling and stuff money, so they have money available to fill in this gap.
I know, but what happens, they're gonna have, probably, if they have the same gap next year, but,
Not necessarily, they could have budgeted more.
budget more money, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next item is transferring $2,000 from tax title and taking to administrative assistant wages, cover costs for the treasurer's assistant treasurer collector when they attend conferences and classes, are out on vacation or sick at the same time. I don't know how that works, but no allowance was made in fiscal year 16 budget with this. You have a motion to approve the $2,000 transfer.
I'll make the motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item is transfer of $1,250 for wage firefighters for projected overtime, $1,250, about $1,244 is what the chief estimates.
Is that the fire department?
Right.
And they're transferring that from where to where?
They're transferring it from,
Expenses?
I will abstain from this because it's to the full-time firefighters' wages, not the
Right.
comp.
transfer funds to firefighter's wage line.
I checked with the chief to
218.
see whether it was call or full-time. He said it
Okay,
was
it's
full-time.
full-time.
5112. Oh, it's full-time.
I'll make a motion, we accept the transfer.
Okay,
Second.
there it is. No, there it is. Okay. Any other discussion?
Why was there a shortage?
Pardon?
Why was there a shortage?
It's projected overtime.
You can't predict overtime.
Just based on the last couple of pay periods. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
One recruise.
Yep.
So it'll be 5 approvals.
They had a accident at 95 Haverhill Street today. This
Right.
afternoon when I was home. That's where you turn onto Bradford.
Yeah,
right
what
now.
happened there?
I don't know. It was a two-vehicle accident.
That was this afternoon, my wife heard a lot of fire engines.
Thank you.
And the last one is transfer 5,000 from the blanket insurance to the police chief's salary. Cover the retirement of Chief Barker.
I'll
make
make
the-
them. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
That was not on here though.
Aye.
It is.
It is?
Debbie,
Is that
Debbie
right?
Egan.
Town administrator.
Right, town
Oh, I thought you said the
administrator.
police chief.
It is for the.
Right,
police,
but it comes from the town administrator.
Yeah, it comes from Debbie.
Oh.
We got a full vote on that, but, because
When they have that kind of money, that just to me means they might have over budgeted then for like blanket insurance, if they
Well,
have
it's
that
just,
kind
it's
of
just a
extra.
guesstimate when
Yes, sir.
they do the
Right.
budget, and then you wait till the bills come in and the rates get set.
I mean, you can't spend exactly to the penny on
Well, I know
both
the
sides.
5,000 isn't like a few pennies. I mean, I don't know what the total is, but.
Insurance. I don't know, blanket insurance, what's involved there, if it's a fixed number or,
It's for
Just an
the,
estimate.
the buildings, the cars, the
yeah,
liability.
so if there's no
yada,
so if there's
yada.
no accidents and no liabilities, then you had extra money, I'm assuming that's
Hmm.
what it is.
Okay, next on the agenda, reappointment to the Personnel Board.
I'd like to see that postponed until we are reorganized, because we've
Yes.
got two members that haven't been reappointed yet that I know of. Have you been?
No?
Oh,
Not yet.
No.
so, and our terms expire
Right,
the 15th of July, so.
How many, mine does too.
right, I think there's
Because
three. Right.
I filled in for somebody, whoever left after their first year, so I was looking in the town book, and mine expires this year,
Two, yeah.
next month, so, and yours does too?
Yeah, mine does
And
too.
so does Dennis's, so there's
Right.
three of us.
Yeah.
How does that work? Does somebody ask us,
Yes.
or do we get,
Yes,
Letter?
the,
Joan Peterson,
right,
town moderator.
the moderator
Not just send her a letter.
should,
No,
email?
she'll
Contact
contact
you.
us.
Contact, yeah.
Yeah.
so Joan, if you're listening, contact these three people. We want them back. You may not want to be back.
So I would make a motion that we postpone that.
I'll
Okay,
second that. Table it or whatever you do, postpone.
all those in favor of tabling it until next meeting, signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, set next meeting date.
Okay, before we go on to that, I was just wondering, is there what's going on with the cemetery? Is it working now with who they have? Do they have anybody to replace the commissioners that we're doing?
They have temporary,
They
But
have
it's not on
temporary
the
people?
agenda, Peter.
I know, but I'm
Right.
just asking, because I just wanna know, but,
They were meeting out there when you came in.
they were?
Mhm.
Oh,
The task force is meeting with them next week, the 21st, I believe.
oh.
So we're still working with them.
So are people on hold for being buried, or are they still going?
No, they're
ahead?
no, I
buried.
mean,
No.
the burials are continuing.
Yeah, the operation
Right.
is working.
Cemetery looked lovely on Memorial Day.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't go this year, because I didn't know they were gonna have a parade, and I guess at the last second they decided.
No, they always have a parade.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Right.
went to it, it was very nice.
it was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. We even put the
That's
new
right,
ladder
so-
truck in. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice to see the ladder truck in the parade.
Mm.
Yes.
But I know my
Yes.
son didn't get a call for the Boy Scouts to march until the day of the parade.
Well, that's
I
up
don't
to
know
the
what
Boy
happened,
Scout
yeah.
leader.
I think it might have had something to do with the VFW. The VFW, was there any
There was, they were
representation?
out real early. I know my grandson was called to be a bagpiper real early. He couldn't do it because
Oh.
he'd had pneumonia and he couldn't play the pipes.
Oh,
Mm.
But he would have loved to have been there doing it. But pneumonia does a job on you, your lungs.
Sure does.
Now, we have another meeting scheduled for July 12th,
12th.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Is that the
That's
next
the
meeting,
next-
or?
Yeah, that's
July
they do
12th.
the end of the year fiscal transfers.
Right.
So that's the next meeting?
Yeah.
July
Right.
12th, okay.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we are done.
Okay.
And we're gone.